This is my Dinomist deck profile. It it's a really good deck. I'm really proud with it. I use 3 Spinos. He has the effect that lets you tribute a Dinomist monster other than himself and activate one of these effects. The first being you can attack your opponent directly this turn. The second being you can make a second attack this turn. You can activate both of those, assuming you have the monsters to tribute. I use 3 Rex. This is my favorite one. When he destroys a monster by battle, you can tribute a Dinomist and activate only one of these effects. You can't use both like Spinos. The first being you can make a second attack on a monster this turn, but only a monster. And if he attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. The second being you can shuffle 1 card from the hand at random, or a card on their side of the field into the deck, and this card gains 100 attack. And he does not target when he does that. You run 3 Brachion and 3 Ceratops. Brachion, when your opponent controls the strongest monster in the field, special summon it. When you control Dinomist that isn't Ceratops, special summon Ceratops. 3 Terran. What Terran does is when he destroys a monster by battle, you can search out a Dinomist card, any Dinomist card, even the spell, from your deck. But I really wish it was on summon. He'd be so much better. 3 Plesios. What he does is he makes your opponent lose 100 attack and defense for every Dinomist card you control. So the spell and your scales count too. And if you have 3 of him, just the 3 monsters right there, that's 900. It can get pretty high, and then with the field spell giving you attack points, it can get pretty crazy. I use 1 Stegosaur because he can get you over really big cards like Lightning and Dark Destroyer. And 1 Luster Pendulum. I hate Master Pendulum. He's such a dead draw, and Luster gets the job done. I use 3 Dinomist Charge. It lets you search out one of your Dinomist monsters from the deck, and if one would be sent to the graveyard, or the extra deck, add to your hand instead. Dynamic Power Load. All Dynamists you control gain 300 attack and defense, and when they attack, your opponent can't respond. Raigeki, Limiter Removal, and Mage Power. Raigeki it wipes their board. Limiter Removal doubles all your machine's attacks, but kills them at the end of the turn. And Mage Power, I run a lot of spells, and then the Pendulum zones count, and I run a lot of traps too. And you equip this to Terran, and it's basically a guaranteed search, and it's really nice on Spinos, because it's easier to get your 1 turn kill. Rush, you can activate it and search out a Dinomist, or special summon a Dinomist straight from the deck, and it's unaffected by the effects of other cards. Phoenix Chain, you can stop attacks with it, and you can stop effects with it. It's a really handy card. 2 Horn of Heaven and 1 Solemn Warning. The Horn of Heaven, you run Pendulum monsters, so this is like a free Solemn Warning, because you just go to the extra deck and you'll summon it back next turn. And if you had Strike, run Strike. I don't have Strike. Drowning and Quaking Mirror Force. Quaking is a pretty good card, and it's really good against Burning Abyss. Sets all their cards face down, and they can't be flipped back up. And Drowning Mirror Force, when you're attacked directly, shuffle all monsters they control into their deck. This is really good for stopping them going for game, or if they're using like Raid Raptors or something that lets them attack directly, or the Mirror Match. You can shuffle their stuff back into their deck, and your 2 big monsters tribute, so you tend to have an open field, and this can really help that. I I use Vanity's Emptiness. Because they're pendulum monsters, when they die, they go to the extra deck instead, so it's a little harder to get rid of Vanities. And it's a pretty solid deck, tributing-wise, because that anti-spell fragrance really gets on my nerves, but I've gotten over it every time someone's thrown it at me. And Bottomless Trap Hole. I want to take this out because never in my Yu-Gi-Oh playing have I ever successfully Bottomless Trap Hole. They always destroy it or something, just I never get to use it. It's really frustrating. But I keep it in there because it's a good card. And my extra deck, I use Ignister and Dinoster. Ignister destroys your Pendulum Scale and shuffles a card without targeting into the deck. Dinoster protects your Pendulum cards. They're pretty good. Usually you want to go into him first if you're trying to go offensive, or him first if you're trying to go defensive. Number 73, when he has a quick effect that lets you double his attack, but when his attack is doubled, the opponent takes half the battle damage. Number 61, Volcasaurus. I don't have Gaia Charger if you had him run him with Volcasaurus, because you summon Volcasaurus, destroy their monster, burn them for attack equal, for life points equal to the monster you destroy's attack, and then rank up into Gaia Charger so you can attack directly. Number 19, Freezerdon. If you were to detach from a monster, Xyz monster, detach one from him instead. So if you had one that says detach multiples from a monster, you only have to detach one from this guy, and it counts. Durandal, he has two effects. The first being you can make your opponent's spell and trap card that they activated, say, destroy one of your spell and trap cards, but you can only activate that if you have spell and trap cards in the field. The second is you can shuffle both players' hands into the deck and draw cards equal to what they shuffled. It's 101 Silent Honor. He takes their card and protects himself with it. Woven, this guy. You can detach material. All your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack, and when he dies, special summon a monster from your grave. Abyss Dweller. All your monsters are water, so you can actually use his other effect. His other effect is when he's Xyz summoned, all monsters you control gain 500 attack, which is actually a pretty decent effect when you're running a water deck. And his other effect with negating graveyard activation is really good too. He's like a 2-use Book of Moon. It's a quick play. You can flip their card face down. It's good with Rex because Rex does piercing. Gear Gigant X, you run enough level 4 machines to make him worth it. When you detach material, you just search a level 4 machine. Castel shuffles a card in another deck. I use Nightmare Shark and Bahamut Shark. You summon Bahamut Shark, detach material from him, and summon number 47. You don't have any water materials, level 3 water monsters, so you can't use his effect to give him a material, but that's still 4,600 damage right there. That can come in real handy. That was the video. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, leave a like.